Welcome back to the TSPN TV News Desk. I'm with Jim Gusctte. I said that correctly. Being Italian, I'm embarrassed earlier, Jim. And Bill Whipple. And Jim is the president of the board of directors for Mace Meadows Golf Course and Country Club, and Bill is the treasurer. But before we get started again, I would like to say that, when we say country club, people should know that it's a public course. I don't know if we mentioned that in the first part of the show, but it is open to the public and extremely reasonable in terms of cost to play there.
Absolutely. We are an upcountry public golf course. There is no stipulation. Anybody from anywhere can come and play. And we do. We have a lot of people from the Reno area come into play, the Folsom area, Sacramento, Stockton area, people coming through for vacations. Stop and play a round of golf. Most people, a lot of people, if they're golfers and they're traveling, they like to squeeze in a few rounds of golf in their vacation, and we get a lot of those kinds of people. So we are definitely open to the public, and the public supports us very, very well.
Right. You don't need to call a week in advance to get a tee time.
No.
I'm a member of the Olympic Club. Sometimes you have to call a month in advance to get people on. And it's just a question of having a reasonable fee, and the guys there get you out whenever you have the urge to play in the evenings. Even when you have big groups out there, they're like, sure, we'll get you right in there. Really, it's just really an accommodating place to be able to just pop in at any time. You don't need to have an advance, tee time.
Very much so, and it always does help to have a tee time if you want a specific time. Call a few days ahead and reserve that, but most of the time you come down, our guys in the pro shop and gals, they'll get you out pretty close to the time you want to.
They do, they're great. Bill, tell us a little bit about the treasurer responsibilities and your aspect of what you handle out there at the golf course.
Basically, my job is to help the club spend its money properly, and we have put together a budget by each division. The pro shop has to have a budget, the restaurant and bar have to have a budget, maintenance has to have a budget. Maintenance's problem is they spend money and all the other people have to make money so they can spend it. But without the maintenance, you wouldn't have a course. And 2009 was my first year on the board, and I was assigned maintenance. And we thought we had a pretty good year there, and we also thought as the years go along that we're doing well. But he topped us all, Gus did, because he found Sierra Golf Management, and they have been the ones who have been managing the course for us, and they're very professional, and I think they're doing an excellent job. I'm sure.
Really whipped it into shape. Yeah.
Mr. Gusctte would agree with me.
I could expound upon the virtues of Sierra. What they've done this year, I think Bill and I would both like to point out, is that they have done things that aren't visual to the ordinary player coming by. If you didn't know what they've done, we had tremendous irrigation issues throughout our golf course, from motors to pumps to booster pumps to main breaks that have been there for quite some time. And they have worked hard on what I call the infrastructure of the course. So it doesn't show, it's not the eye candy you're going to see today, but you're going to see it as soon as the hot weather starts to dissipate and we get into cooler temperatures in September and October. You're going to see the course take hold very, very quickly, because we can then now supply enough water for the course. We hit with inadequate irrigation to begin with, and with the hot weather that we weren't accustomed to up country, it was a double whammy for us, so to speak. And also next year, come next April and May, we're going to have an infrastructure and an irrigation system in place, and we're going to be able to handle the season from the get-go. And I think that's the real key. We tried to this year, we just couldn't work fast enough, quick enough to repair enough issues with equipment and irrigation. We believe we're on the ball for that next year. So again, just because it doesn't look like there's the greenness, it doesn't look like Augusta National today, doesn't mean we're going to get it much closer to it both this fall and then especially next season when we open up in April and May.
Well, no, that's the most important thing about a golf course. I remember when I first came here to Amador County 13 years ago, and I said, boy, that's a great little course. And then everybody would say, oh, well, yeah, during the rainy season it gets a little wet in the back nine, and there's some drainage issues, or a little dry here, people do. That's the first thing they think about it. And like you say, it's not something that you readily see, but you can see the difference, and when you're out there playing, you're really going to feel the difference. It was designed, I guess, in the 70s by Jack Fleming, who was a
Right.
big golf course designer in San Francisco, where I grew up. I played on the little par 3 course learned out there in Golden Gate Park. He designed a little tiny course out there, but he designed, we were just looking at it on the internet. I won't pretend like I keep this knowledge in my head, but Harding Park and, a number of big courses, throughout California, in Napa and all over. He was a great golf course designer, and he was the one who designed Mace Meadows. I mean, what a remarkable design to have. It's just a very interesting course.
It is. It's a very challenging course. It's fair, but it's challenging. You want to keep your ball on the course. The trees aren't going to move just because you hit in them. They're not going to move when you get over there. So it's a great test of your skills. Very great test.
Well, people who don't know Jack Fleming, he was, a perfectionist. He came up here, I heard, to Pioneer, and he told everybody to rip everything out. He had all of his landscapers up here working. And then when he'd come up, he'd say, redo this and redo that until he had that place exactly the way he wanted. He just didn't come out and lay out the course. He was very actively involved, which is an asset to the Pioneer area. That course, you go to a lot of communities throughout California, and they're kind of identified by the golf course. I mean, you're a big part of the identity up country there and the community. I mean, it's a thriving community because the golf course is thriving.
And the golf course, as you pointed out with Jack designing it, it's a great layout. It's a great golf course. And we're not trying to change the golf course. We're just trying to improve every facet of the golf course, from tee to green to fairways to rough to approaches, etc. And we believe we can do that. It takes time and it takes money, and it can't be done overnight. But we really believe we're on the right track, on the right path, and as long as we can finance our operation, we're going to get it done.
Well, we can finance by going down there and buying a steak, I would think, or breakfast in the mornings. I just had a breakfast meeting there the other morning, and I saw Bill there, and everybody's there. It's a community. We need to patronize, do the local thing, and
all
it's a big
up-country
part.
businesses need to be patronized.
Yeah, but that golf course is a big part of how attractive our community appears and looks to families moving in and the people who are thinking about moving, into the upcountry area. The vitality of a Mace Meadows Golf Course is key.
Yeah. And to mention that, we have several very great supporters of our golf course who live on the golf course, who never play golf. They wanted to purchase a home, and they looked for the most beautiful area, and they thought that the golf course gave them that opportunity. They're happy with their purchase, and they certainly are people that want to see us succeed.
Okay, how do we speed those golf carts up? That's what I want to know.
How do we speed
Actually, you
them
had
up?
pretty good. Last time I played in the Friday Scramble a week or two ago. It's taco night. Couldn't miss that.
There you go.
And the golf carts were nice. They were moving. Everything very modernized, and the equipment has been up. I didn't hear that being mentioned in terms of the carts and all the equipment out there.
Put a lot of money and a lot of time into upgrading our carts, servicing them correctly, and it's an ongoing. Maintenance and equipment issues are ongoing, and they always will be. It's a constant battle to try to keep up with, and we're doing the best we can.
You're right.
We're improving every day.
Well, you feel that in a public course sometimes. You'll be out there putting and having those carts modernized and moving along, and the pace of play and the community out there. It's just a friendly place to play, and everything about it. I'd say, coming from a golf course background and belonging to a country club,
Right.
I'm kind of spoiled in
Sure.
terms of the bar. And, when I came here, it's kind of been going up and down, and now I can honestly say, I'm really impressed going out, and it's an enjoyable place to spend time and play, and you're doing a great job out
Well,
there.
I know Bill and I would
Yeah.
certainly agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to the Kyle Metcalf
absolutely.
tournament. And
We promoted that this morning on our
Yes.
AM show, by the way, and I'd like to do that again. I was just about to do that.
Right. Well, obviously, I wasn't here 8 years ago when it all started, but I have been involved on it for the past 4 or 5 years, and the turnout for people is very good. A lot of us have our own carts. This term, at first we were told 120 golfers. Looks like it's going to be 80, but the difference is now,
Just
like...
because I haven't signed up with Jason, we have a couple more coming, don't you
Couple
worry.
more, good.
Yeah.
Well, what happens here, though, is like I put my cart down, other people put their cart down, and we have to get those people who are helping that tournament, so we'll have people with their own cart pulling around the people who are working on the tournament and getting them to different holes. And it's really, you can just see the excitement because Kyle had a pretty good following of people, and I think he'll always have that. So.
Sure does. Yeah, I think it's the fourth year in a row, or how many years is it? No, more than that, 7.
It's been there a while. I'm not positive on the number of years, but it's extremely popular, and people follow it, and very, very proud of it. It's a great group of people playing that tournament.
My wife and I attended the first fundraiser at the Veterans Hall. It was a spaghetti dinner when Kyle's situation first happened. And I had dinner the other night with Kyle at a barbecue. And he said, boy, yeah, they're going to keep doing our golf tournament. We're the best golf tournament in the world. He's really proud of it.
Yes.
And,
tremendous support for
people
that
to be
tournament.
able to participate in it and support
Speaks a
that
lot
cause.
to him.
It does. It does. And he's a heck of a guy. And, he's been a part. When I came up from the Bay Area, I had not seen a community pulled together around that type of cause, when somebody's injured, and seeing the community just come out and just the outpouring of support. And everybody was, I just not experienced that before in a small community.
Welcome to upcountry people. They're that's just the way they are.
And that has been going on year after year after year. So that speaks to our community as well in terms of the longevity of that cause and people's commitment to it. It wasn't just a one-time spaghetti feed. It's been going on for years. And, when people are supportive, they really throw their support and then mean it and stand behind it. It's a great cause. Yeah, we have golf tournaments coming up, I'm sure, and different activities. We've got the website up. Oh, we're showing those beautiful pictures of some of the course there. It's nice to actually go out there and see it for yourself. The website, you have a great website. How do people find your website? MaceMeadow.com. What is it?
Right.
Is it that easy?
Yeah.
MaceMeadow.com. That's easy enough. And you can get on the website and see, do you post the events that are coming up and different information?
Absolutely.
Updated?
In fact, we'll post this event on our website.
You have a website person. You have a technical person up there that does a lot of that.
We have a great IT committee. Kip Garvey and Tom Amon take care of most of that for us, do a tremendous job of informing everyone. And like I said, we'll get this on that, and we'll stream it out so that people can view this if they'd like to, and let them know that it's available. And Mace Meadow did get on television, and they can watch it even though they didn't see it live.
You guys have a committee for everything. You have great people handling everything. Those tacos are excellent.
Like I said, the volunteers.
They just don't appear on the counter there.
Volunteers at Mace Meadow have been.
Everything's.
We wouldn't survive without volunteers. There's no question about that. We couldn't get everything done.
Well, they can go on the website and see different information, but, they can just pop in there. Your hours of operation are endless. I mean, every day. What days do you close?
The course is open from 7 to 7. 7 to 8 o'clock, I believe the pro shop is closing. It's either 7 or 8 now, I'm not sure.
You closed on Mondays like normal golf courses?
No, the golf course runs 7 days a week.
That's why I never see
the restaurant's open 7 days a week. Just lunch during the week, and then breakfast and lunch on the weekends.
Open 7 days a week. That's hard to do. That's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of effort.
Well, and he does special dinners that are out of this world. If you can go down to the St. George and you can talk to the cook down there, and you'll find out he used to work for Ray.
Ray knows what he's doing. That's a great asset to have up there. Food is key.
Excellent chef.
Yeah, I mean, food is key. When I first came up there were very few restaurants up country, and there's still very little to choose from.
Right.
And the golf course was, my home away from home. I didn't even have a house here. I was just kind of eating my breakfasts, lunches, and dinners.
You and me both.
Down there.
Yeah.
So I have to thank them for keeping me going and having a place to find a meal. And it's still a great place. It's even become a better place to find a meal. That's great. Because people are always, thinking, well, we'll go here. I guess they've got that re-going, and that's starting up again. Is it any good? And they're always questioning. Up country, we're very skeptical. But we can honestly say that the food is happening there at Mace Meadows Golf Course right now in a big way. And that's important for the community. We got about a minute left, so we got to talk about your handicaps and what's going on. I mean, what are you doing to improve your games up there, guys? Bill, you go first, because I know your game is really getting there.
Well,
you got the secret, right?
Well, in the men's invitational, for some reason, I was hitting everything well, and for the first time, I got back to 92. I had slowly been going up, at my age, you never want to go up
Yeah,
to
you don't
100.
go your age, yeah.
But if you get to 92, that's pretty good. And I won my first tournament prize in the
Whoa.
men's invitational.
Terrific.
So now
That'd have
look
to
out.
feel good.
Yeah, look out. I'm
Yeah.
going to win them all now, right?
Well, I won $6.50 in the Friday Scramble last time.
Great.
One of three of us. I guess we had a threesome. And, well, maybe it was four. And it was 3 or 4, but we split the prize. And I walked away with my $6. I felt pretty good. Did you get out there and play too, Jim?
Absolutely. Not as much as I never get to play as much as I'd like to.
Well, I know you were recently married, so you're a busy
Yes.
guy, and that takes up a little time too. You have to really balance it out with
She's
with
very
your family
supportive of the
stuff.
golf course.
But I want to make sure, and thank you so much for coming on, and make sure you come back and view more TSPN TV programming.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Experience the great outdoors of the High Sierra Historic Placid Resort.